Yo, what's going on, world? It's your boy CP the Real, and this is Talk to Me Nice. Man, I'm here in the studio with the family in full effect. And when I say full effect, I mean that. Mr. Pokefit is back, man. Welcome back, brother.
Season 2, I'm here, baby. What it do?
Yeah, man. The queen is back, Tavia. And everybody's favorite big homie, Mr. Von Solo. We have a very special guest in the building, man, and I can't stress that enough. She's literally family. I love her to death. She is a staple in the Black community. She is a motivator for people of color, especially Black little girls in the community. And she's our voice, a voice that we wake up to on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? News anchor, Channel 8 News, station WFAA, Miss Cleo Greene.
Heavy on the claps.
Yeah, heavy on the claps. Heavy on the claps. Yeah. And in case y'all didn't know, Cleo is married to my oldest brother, which means she is my sister-in-law. Hashtag my sister's better than yours. Yeah.
Hashtag her husband is better than her brother. I mean, better than his brother.
Oh man, Cleo, I love you, sister.
I love you too.
Finally. What took you so long? Like we this is season 2.
I know. I got a crazy schedule.
You got a crazy schedule.
I mean, she is on WFAA.
You know what? But I'm glad to be here. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
For starting this.
One time for the one time having Cleo Greene on the show. Everybody, cheers.
Did she answer why she took so long?
Wait, so what is the drink called? I know you call it something.
Yeah, so you know how we do, Cleo. Sip of the week. So every week we have a signature drink. It's modeled after the theme of the show. This week's Sip of the Week is dedicated to you, considering you're on our TV every day, lights, camera, action. This week's Sip of the Week is called Showtime.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Showtime. So this is a mango margarita, a shot of Grand Marnier, and tahine. Excuse the host because I forgot the tahine. But we're going to keep it rolling. You know what I mean?
I was waiting on you to pronounce that middle word. I was sitting over there.
One time for the one time.
Tavia said tajin.
No, you didn't.
One time for the one time. Showtime.
Showtime,
baby.
For the island.
Man, it's nothing like
God is dope.
God is dope. Yes.
Very.
Thank the Lord. It's nothing like being in the studio with the family, man. Every one of y'all are family. I mean that. So this is a good moment for me, man. We're about to cut loose in here. But Cleo, because of what you represent to the Black community, again, we've drafted an episode for you. Today's topic is breaking barriers.
Okay.
Yeah, manifesting your dreams. You know what I mean? And I want to start off by saying, again, you are an inspiration to the Black community. For us to wake up, especially in today's climate, for us to wake up, turn our TVs on, and see your beautiful face talking to us and being a representation of our people. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing. It takes me back to the times of, and y'all remember this period, right? There was a period of times where dolls, I've obviously never been a little girl, but I remember when dolls, when that whole dilemma came up with, the Barbie dolls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a period of time where no doll on a shelf represented anything of the minority community, right?
Right.
So, and then obviously there came the influx where they started making dolls, Barbie dolls, Cabbage Patch dolls that look like us. You know what I mean? So
in a variety of different ways.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful thing. I know there are a lot of, Black little girls out there that wake up every morning or that see you on TV. They point, they smile, they laugh, and it's like, hey, that could be me. You know what I mean? You give hope to to little girls out there. So I want to dive a little bit into your background, and I want to understand how you got to the point of where you are, and how you developed that passion, and then obviously what's next to come. So
man, that's such a long question. I know Vaughn was like, you're gonna talk the whole show, but yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible because I really want to have some good conversation here. But if you don't stop Okay, so I mean, I grew up in South Jersey. So I am not from Texas. I am a first generation American, which means I am the first person in my family to be born in the United States of America. My mother is from Spanish Town, Jamaica. My dad is from Guyana. That's a country in South America. And they both came to the States, to New York in their 20s. So
can you do me one favor?
What? You want to do some accent?
Yes, please.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I kind of heard it when she was talking.
True, you know, when I feel comfortable is when I talk in accents. So
Yeah.
I love it.
So, I mean, it's even hard on the news because sometimes I'm thinking, sometimes I don't talk to my mom for like for a good while because I will start to go back to an accent. So
Right.
I know my husband, he knows so many little words now. He'll be talking to me in patois. He won't say it to you though. Yeah.
They know how to fight though. Him and I give him that.
You know what? He does. But so my parents came here in the 20s, and when they were in their 20s, and my dad, he joined the Air Force, and we moved to McGuire Air Force Base in South Jersey. And, you know, just in terms of where I started and where I got my passion, my grandmother, she had came from Jamaica and she was staying with us, and she's a big news person. She always watches the news. And we were watching the news and she was like, you know what? I can't see you doing that, you know. And I was like, doing what? And she was like, I anchor on the news. I talk the news. I can't see you doing that. I can't really see you doing that. And I was like, oh my God, I can see myself doing that too.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's dope.
gosh. That was 8th grade.
Wow.
So in the 8th grade, I was so fortunate that my high school had like a television station. So I would go there and be like, hey, I want to do this. Can I get on air? Can I be on camera? And then I went to college. I majored in broadcast journalism. I just knew from that age, like, this is what I wanted to do, right? Like, nothing was going to stop me from doing that. Like, I had to make sure that I did it. And when I graduated college, I went to Rowan University in South Jersey. It was 2008. That was the year of the economic recession, right? Like, that was the year we thought was really bad. Now 2020 is bad with the pandemic. So no one was hiring, like absolutely nobody. I remember ABC in Flint, Michigan called me, and the news director was like, hey, you know, things are bad right now. I could give you a job, but starting salary is $13,000. I was like, $13,000. Yes. And she was like, you know, you'll get good experience. You probably won't make much, but you know, that's what we're offering. So I was like, no, let me keep looking. Exactly, right? Like $13,000. Yes. So, I mean, I did my research and I found a job as a feature reporter for PBS in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. So I was like, okay, I want to explain something to you for people that are interested in television. There's 200 television markets in the United States, 200. So the top 5 are New York, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, Dallas. So Dallas is market 5. So in each market, let's say Dallas, for example, in each market, you're going to find your ABC, your NBC, your Fox. Right. Every affiliate is in that market. The bigger the market, the more money you make, the more exposure you get, you know, the more people want to be in that market. Now, nationals like your Robin Roberts, everybody in every state can see her, right? That's the big time. And she's making $14.5 million a year. Crazy, and she earned that. She earned that.
I love me some
right?
Roberts,
I love her too.
You know, she don't like.
We're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there, but
Robin.
I love some Robin too. But so I took my first job in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. As soon as I graduated college, and that's market 0, y'all. That was like, that's not even a market, right? But I knew I was going to go there and make my mistakes and learn, and just, I was there by myself. Like, I didn't feel out of place because my family is from the islands. So it was just weird to be on my own in an island. Like, it wasn't even like I was in Georgia. I was freaking on an island by myself, right? So I was there, and then I went to CBS in Georgia. Then I went to ABC in Maryland, and then I went to Minneapolis. Now that was really hard. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little later. But I was in Minneapolis, and then I came to Georgia, and then I came to Dallas. I was in Georgia, then I came to Dallas. So it's just been an amazing ride. It's been a long ride, almost 12, 13 years now.
Wow.
So it feels good to finally call a place home, and it looks like it's Dallas.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
The best place to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm loving it. I love it here.
Hey.
I do.
So you said 8th grade. So honestly, it was your grandmother that planted
A
that
seed.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my
she
first
did.
one,
Yeah.
She did. And I can't even say that, like, I think some people, when they feel something in themselves, right? Like a passion, and they don't necessarily fulfill it. I feel like sometimes we're so quick to blame our parents for not helping us push us in that direction. My parents didn't help me push me in my direction. Like, I knew I wanted to do that. I did I did everything in my power to do that, right? Like, granted, there were times maybe I was watching a show. Like, I used to love to watch Martin, and I remember my mom would turn it off and be like, "You want to be a broadcaster? Y'all watch Martin. We all learn from Martin. We all learn from Martin. Watch the news. You want to be on the news? Watch the news." So there was that little moment, but she was never pushing me right in a direction to be a broadcaster. Like, I really did that on my own, and I'm not mad at my parents for not, maybe helping me elevate me, because it really taught me to be a self-starter.
Absolutely.
It did. Mm-hmm.
No,
Absolutely. We parents, you can only teach your children what you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they didn't know, right?
It take other people to sometimes get you beyond, the door that's there. You know what I mean? That's why we have teachers and friends and family to help us get to that point. Because, in other words, how would you explain people who end up going to college and parents have never been there?
Right.
Your parents can tell you, go to school and go to college and all that stuff, but they don't really know how to get you there.
It's so true. And I mean, my dad, he told me that, wanting to be an anchor or a reporter was a pipe dream. Like, he literally told me that,
right.
And I was like, no, it's not. Like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it. So it was really a fire in myself that, whenever I talk to young journalists or young women and men that feel like it's impossible, I'm like, it's not. Like, you really, really can do it.
Absolutely.
You just need to have the drive, and you just need to be willing to be uncomfortable. Right? Like, I didn't want to move away from home. Like, I haven't been home in 12 years. I've never even remember a moment in my adulthood that I could say, I'm going to go drive to my mom's house and we're going to go to the mall and drink coffee. I've never been back home since I was 21 years old.
So,
well, look at,
dream chasing.
So I have a question. So basically what you're saying is you live majority of your life uncomfortable.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. It is just now, maybe just this year that, I told my husband, I'm like, I feel so happy and so blessed right now. And I've never felt that way in a very, very long time.
But out of uncomfortable situations comes greatness.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it took time.
Right?
It took a lot of time.
And you really can appreciate where you are now because you spent all this time being uncomfortable. And it's like you never ever want to go back there again. Right. So you can really appreciate and dwell in what you are now and appreciate it.
Yes. I mean, I've lived in so many states where I don't have family, right? I don't have like a connection. Yes. I mean, I've been so many times where I'd leave the newsroom and I'd go home and I'd just cry in my room because the day was so hard. Yes. I don't want to be there. I want to go back home to my room in Jersey. Like, but I know I can't give up or I won't get where I want to be, right? But just so much drama to get here now. And it's still not over, right? I got a plan in the back of my head. There's still more to come. But exactly.
There's different levels to what we call breaking the barrier. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It ain't just at that level of getting there. You breaking through maybe being the first person in your family. Right. You know? Mm-hmm. And so for her father, who's older than us, he's in a generation before mine. And for to have a career on TV and entertainment, that's something far-fetched. Mm-hmm. That's a pipe dream, like you said. I, too, went through entertainment, and it was hard. I was by myself. I've never left Dallas. Once I left Dallas at 17, I didn't come back. I was by myself in Mississippi. I was by myself in the biggest. Well, I was in, I was right there in the Mecca. You know what I mean? Coming from here there was a huge
culture shock.
Yeah, it was a huge culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I didn't cry that time. I cried when I went to college. But when
you cried a little early.
Yeah, I cried then but by the time I got to New York, it was like I already had this little candy coated shell.
Yeah.
So I had a thin shell around me. But I was still, I still was green. Here it is, all these people that or used to the New York way,
Mhm.
it was all over me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm talking about everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody that I came in contact with, it was just like, it was very fast for me. And so that was a barrier for me. You know, getting my master's degree, getting my bachelor's degree. I was the first one. I was the first, well, in my immediate
family.
because
Yeah.
my family, even though my mother was a nurse, she got her degree from a community college, and she kind of went the slower route.
Right.
And my dad was a truck driver and a dope boy.
Vaughn's daddy said dope.
Dope.
Oh Lord.
My dad is dope. No, he was a good guy. He was a good guy though, man. He did that, man, but he wasn't, too shabby on, showing people how to make money and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the phrase breaking barriers, it can happen at different levels.
Yeah.
And you don't know where that road is going to take you. So I do applaud you. I had another question. How do you feel about not being able to use your, do we call it dialect? How do you feel about having to repress that and have to talk another way as opposed to talking like how you used to? How do you feel about that?
Well, patois is really not like an official language, you know what I
but
mean?
It's still, you have
right,
an
like
accent
it's a
to it.
Caribbean
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in the Virgin Islands, I was definitely able to bring it out a little bit more, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then when
Yeah,
now I'm feeling comfortable, so now I'm really so now some words are coming out. But when I switched to being on air, it's just a formality that I have to follow, like everybody else, you know. And I feel like there's new and upcoming journalists who are Black women. You know, there's a diversity of women that are coming out that are able to be themselves, right? And wear their hair big and curly and wear these, awesome little outfits. I was not in that generation.
Right.
So it's so hard for me to like make that switch, right? I was in news at a time where it was like my hair had to be super straight. The way I couldn't wear, I had to wear blazers. I couldn't wear the sleeveless.
When did that change? I mean,
I think that started to change. I want to say like maybe 2016, 2007.
I was gonna say
so you jumped in the game.
Even that long.
So
I jumped in the game 2009. As soon as the year I graduated from college, it's old school news. You know what I mean? Like there was times where my news director would.
Old school?
It changed, right? Like we weren't reading tweets on air and stuff like that. Like there was no social media life. You know what I mean? We have social media reporters. Like it was a different ball game when I first joined news. Like it was the old school way, and sometimes I do miss it because it was so official, right?
Absolutely.
And clean looking. And now it's like
whatever.
Right? Oh my God!
But you had to take somebody out of the streets and we can
right. And you know what?
And this training I've had.
You know what? No, seriously, because what's happening now is, when you graduated from college in broadcast journalism back in the day when I graduated, which doesn't really seem that long ago, but it is, you had to go to one of the smaller markets to make all your mistakes. And what's happening now is, these companies are becoming so cheap where they are hiring students that are out of, just got out of college in these bigger markets for less money, right? Like back in the day, you would get a job in Dallas for maybe 150, right? As a reporter. And now you can get a job right out of college in Dallas for 50, 60. But that student right out of college wants that job because they get to say they're in market 5.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like things have changed.
Urban reporting.
I won't even go there.
That's what I want. What does urban mean in your world? What is urban?
Ooh,
that urban. That's what I want to know.
So let me ask you this, and this is just being fully transparent. So in your industry, is it safe to say that is a predominantly Caucasian dominated world? I mean, again, I don't see a lot of our faces on the news every day, and how do you, again, that's a barrier that you constantly have to overcome and show that we can be that, we can compete, and we're at that same level. So I watch CNN all day, so I get happy when I turn it to your station because of your face. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
right.
a representation of a group of people that may otherwise not be heard. And to us, to our community, the minority community, the Black community, that's pretty significant. You know, to the rest of the world, they just see you on TV. But to us, that's groundbreaking. Right. You know what I mean?
So,
like, do you feel that you have to fight those hurdles on a day-to-day basis?
You know what? I feel like here's the thing, and it's so there's so many levels to it. I feel like we've reached a point where there is more diversity than I've ever seen, right? Yeah. And probably for you probably don't see it, but for me, that's in it every day. I've never seen so many women of color and Asians and Hispanics on the news than ever before. And there was a time where we really weren't there. You know what I mean? It really was a small little population of people. So what happens is there's in a news station, there are anchors, and your anchor is your face of the station. That's who you'll see behind the desk. You know, they look beautiful. They're pitching to reporters who are outside, who are doing the live reporting. So I think at one point there wasn't a lot of Black anchors at the desk, right? Who are the staple of that desk. Like that's the big money. That's the face of the station. That's the promos. That's all of it, right? That's showtime. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, just in Minneapolis, when I was working at ABC in Minneapolis, I was promised that I would be fill-in anchor, that I would be anchoring on the weekends. And when I got there, I got to tell you, when I got there, it was 3 Black people that worked in the entire station in Minneapolis. In the entire station.
The 2 janitors and who?
One was the cook. One was the cook, and I was one of the reporters. And there was another reporter, right? There was 2 reporters.
And the jungle with the keys.
It's so sad, right? It's so sad. It's so sad, but that's the reality of things, right? And I never got the opportunity to anchor at that station. And I'll tell you the truth, like I think that's one of the worst stations I've ever worked at. I've never not felt like myself in any place, right? And they were the station, when my contract had ended in Maryland, they were the station that was willing to offer me the most money. And that's where I went. And I think that was a hard lesson to learn, because that taught me that money does not matter, right? Like, because I learned to have some tough skin, because, I've known my husband for maybe 10, 11 years, and he's got this outlook on life where he is very comfortable in his skin, and he knows how to operate around white people.
Shout out to my brother.
He knows that, right? Like, and I always had this approach to life where, don't say that. Like, that's not true. Like, he didn't treat you that way because of that, right? Like, that would be me, right? But when I got to Minneapolis, I don't think I've ever been reminded so much in my life that I was a Black woman, right? I've never, and I think I needed to go there to feel that, because I'm from the East Coast. Like, it's so different there. You know what I mean? The first week I got there, I was trying to learn my way around the streets, and I cut some guy off, and I had no idea, and he was parked next to me, so I was rolling down my window to say sorry, like, I'm so sorry. He was like, he called me the N-word. And I was like, Mom, somebody just called me the N-word. I've never been called the N-word. And she was like, Cleo, she was like, you gotta let that roll off your back. Like, you gotta adjust. Yeah. So it was very, very hard. In Minneapolis, I covered the shooting death of Jamar Clark, Philando Castile. It was just, it was. I was there then, and I was in the thick of it. I was wearing, bulletproof vests while reporting out in some of these protests. Oh yeah. It was.
So I know it was the whole George Floyd. That back too.
So that brings me back. I know exactly what was happening in Minneapolis. I know why those buildings burned down. It was, it was another moment, right?
It was necessary for you.
And that's why I left Minnesota. Like, I just couldn't be there. It had killed my entire soul. Like, it was just.
Well, your soul has to die. To die in order to progress.
It did.
It does, but it's very much necessary.
It did. So it's funny, because when people come, people in my station now are like, they complain about things. I'm like, please, this is heaven to me. I'm like,
this is lightweight.
I got no issue.
This ain't nothing. It's easy money.
And that's what I was thinking. it was very necessary for your growth.
It was.
Very
that was
necessary. But the beauty of it is you got to see that side, and now you're getting to see you have a chance to see the beginnings of something else. Right. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate who my husband is, and I appreciate I have a different outlook on everything because of that contract and that experience.
And that's something I wanted to dive into
in the Twin Cities.
Again, your husband, aka my big brother. Yeah, so I mean,
shameless plug.
I love you, bro.
I love you too.
What up, cuzzo? What up, cuzzo?
That must be, and I don't want to say a rock and a hard place, but I mean, you are exposed to both ends of it, right? I mean, in today's climate, and I've had my side conversations with my brother, but again, your husband, my brother, is a law enforcement. So in today's climate, with everything that's been going on recently, I mean, how do you battle between the two worlds, between understanding law enforcement's position, but being upset with some of the positions we see law enforcement take, in today's climate. You know what I mean? There's good cops and bad cops, but with you being married to someone in law enforcement, and then again having issues, I know you care about what's going on in society 100%. Today. What do those talks look like? Emotionally, where does that put you?
It's difficult. It is so difficult because I understand the anger and the frustration that we are all going through, right? Especially when it comes to police brutality and not making sense of things. How did that happen, right? Like, why was Philando Castile shot like that inside of his vehicle? What happened to Jamar Clark? Did he really need to be shot while handcuffed in his back? And then even Botham Jean, like, what the hell happened there? And then we talk about Tatiana Jefferson. She was freaking playing video games in her bedroom with her nephew, and you shot through a bedroom window? Like, how does that make sense? And yes, because I have all those questions, I do go to my husband and I'm like, babe, what, like, where was the rationale? Manual, like, how did that happen? Right? And he will say, babe, it doesn't make sense. He can't even explain it, right? Because there's no justifiable reason why it went there, especially with Chauvin and George Floyd, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. And my husband, he didn't wake up and say, I want to be a police officer. He went to Johnson & Wales in Miami to become a chef. Facts. Right? Like, I got my own chef at home. I don't cook. I do, but he is such a good cook. But he went to school to be a chef, realized that the hours are freaking crazy, and this is not what he wants, right? And he wants
you didn't know him before this. I did.
We all did.
I'm not even going there.
They're smart, but they like knives.
He has his own knife.
I know he does.
He does.
Gang.
I love him. That's my little brother.
And he loves you, Mom. But so then he realized, like, you know what can I do that's gonna make a difference? And that's when he went to the police academy. It's been 10 years now that he's been with Dallas County Sheriff's Office. And yes, it's a battle. I mean, sometimes my own husband tells me to not to tell people that he's a police officer because people don't like police officers right now. And that is the truth, right? But I can't even tell you. Right, but I can't even tell you. But now with Gen Zers, there's a generation of young white people that don't like them as well, right? They're at the heads of the lines for the Black Lives Matter.
When you see the protests, that's all you see.
Yes.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
It's not right.
Right.
But
I'm sorry.
Don't bump too hard now.
Hey, Queen.
Wait a minute, boo. Chill out.
Pull it back a little bit.
Chill out. Pull it back.
Well, it just took me back when I was like, it's none of us. It's all them.
So that's funny that you say that, because one of my girlfriends, her name's Michelle, and she's a white woman, and she goes to all of these Black Lives Matter protests, and she has told me that coordinators come up to her and say, we want to have the white people at the front because they are less abrasive to officers. They're not going to hurt you. And I'm like, they really said that to you? So I don't know if that's true, if that's fact, right? But I don't know. I mean, that was interesting that she said that. You know what I mean? And she didn't regurgitate
It's
that
true.
from anywhere, right? But I mean, I think what we need to shine a light on is that, I mean, my husband will come home and tell me about the issues within the police department that are happening that are racially motivated. You know what I mean? There's so many times where he will see a white officer, you know, have to either arrest a black man or have that type of involvement. He will tell him, back off. Like, you're being a little too aggressive. Like, let me take care of this, right? Yeah. Even when they had a moment to honor George Floyd in the department, and all of the officers were expected to come down to like their luncheon area and kneel for 6 minutes and 48 seconds. You know how long that officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck, and not one white officer showed up. Oh, you know, not one white officer showed up, and it hurt him, right? It hurt him because had it been anything else that was a call of show of support, right? Everyone would be there, right? So where were y'all? Like, so it's those
and
type
we're
of things.
supposed to be brothers in blue,
right?
That's what hurt him. That's what hurt him, but that's reality.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's the beauty of being on both sides,
right?
It's the beauty of being old enough to see the struggle then. Mm-hmm. And see where we're going now. Right. Because people that been woke up a long time ago, we've been waiting.
It's true.
For this day. We've been waiting to see more black faces on TV. Right. We've been waiting for people to rise up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we've been on both sides. We know what it feels like to have to fit into a box in order to get to this certain get to this certain level.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
we
that's
always had to be something that we wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and fit into
like we have to fit in somebody that we're not.
Yeah, absolutely not. You know, we put in a circle in a square space.
Yeah.
You know,
right? I mean, anytime someone I did this commentary about officers, and that yes, there are many that are bad, but there's so many that are actually looking out for us, right? And people came for me on Twitter. They did. And you really can't fight with people on Twitter because they're going to be right. But I always go back to the saying my dad always said, if you want to make change, you got to be deep in that place where the change is happening, right? So if there's shit that's happening in the police department, like the fact that we have so many black officers that work for DPD and Dallas County Sheriff's Office, I mean, can you even tell me a time? I got to really do the research, but can you tell me a time where a black officer shot an unarmed black man? Because I can't even tell you that. Right? Like I can't. Unless it did happen and I don't know the history. But I've never heard no national story of that right?
That goes to teaching. We're taught as young black men and young black women how to handle ourselves in public.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I hate.
This and that.
You're right.
Yeah, but that was
the fact that we have
safety.
But the fact that we have to walk within those guidelines, and other races can be free to do as they will. You know what I mean? Right. As a black man, I walk out of my house every day by a playbook. There's a rule book, and I don't step outside of those lines. But for a Caucasian male, the playbook doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
He can do whatever. He can do whatever, say whatever, act whatever, the way that he wants.
Not where we're supposed to be.
And even though we're talking,
go ahead, Taylor.
But I was gonna say, and that's even at work. I know you're like a news anchor, but like even in corporate America, you don't see a lot of black CEOs or a lot of black people owning, unless it's a black-owned business. You don't see someone black running Xerox or ADT or anything like that. And so. I think it's great. Like you said, you were a reporter in Minneapolis, but here in Dallas, you're able to be an anchor.
Yes.
We're able to visualize and see that, like, we had a black president. So I think it's a lot of times when we're able to visually see it, we can actually make it happen. And I think that that's very important for us to be able to see that and to know that, hey, even though I'm playing by this rule book or what have you, I can
possibilities are there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
South Dallas got your back.
And I feel it. I feel it.
That black girl on TV, we know her. You supposed to meet her, Cleo. Facts.
Triple A that.
Hey.
I feel it. And they let me know, and I appreciate it so much.
We got Cleo back.
The fact that we can do both, though. Some people can't do both. Which is great.
Can't put it back on.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Poke fit. Step out of pocket if you want to.
You know what?
Hey,
don't get too crazy.
Cleo's untouchable.
Don't get too crazy.
She's protected.
You don't stop.
Don't let the Twitter fights get you twisted.
Twitter finger turn to trigger finger.
Yeah,
Your hand on that hair.
Yeah, she's untouchable. She's protected. Black community is protecting Cleo.
Yeah, we can't make this up.
Break your barriers, you can break some ass.
Hashtag.
That'll be your last.
All the way up in your ass.
You know what?
Try me if you want to.
Right.
Don't try me. Try Jesus.
Not no hands.
Hashtag because I throw it.
Don't try
Oh
me.
man. So I want to get into the psyche and your experiences, right? So you've been in the game since what, 2009, right?
2008 when I
2008.
graduated college.
All
Yep.
right. So I want you to share with, and again, anybody successful, anybody that's made it has had trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
So I would like you to share with us, with the the viewers, with the people listening, what has been your greatest, I guess, lesson learned throughout your career? And that could have been a failure for all we know. But I mean, there's things that catapult us, to the next level. So, a lot of people are trying to be entrepreneurs, or they're chasing their dreams, even if it's in corporate America. But again, there are these barriers that we all have to overcome. And some of us get discouraged. You know what I mean? I personally have been discouraged. I personally quit on a lot of things in life. You know what I mean? But for somebody to turn on the TV and see you every day, I think it's important that you let them know that there have been failures, along the way. So what are some of the most valuable lessons that you've learned, throughout your journey?
I think it really goes back to the fact that I had to tell myself that if I know where I want to be in life, you know what I mean? Like this is not my ending spot. This is my sweet spot for now, but I've still got a whole nother game plan, right? And I think if I learned anything, it's to be okay with having a journey, right? Like
Trust the process.
I think and trusting the process. I've talked to so many young journalists that will call me and say, Cleo, I want to get my first job, but they're not hiring. The only station that's hiring me is in Montana, and I don't want to go to Montana. I want to be with my family. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to be with your family, or do you want to be a reporter?
Ooh.
And they'll say, I want to be a reporter.
Period.
Right? I want to be a reporter. I'm like, well, guess what?
You're
moving to Montana.
You gotta live uncomfortable, man.
You gotta be uncomfortable, especially when you're so early in your career, right? You gotta be willing to do any and everything. And I'm not saying like, go be homeless and live in your car and stuff, right? Like, right? Like, I mean,
we got these guys.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but Wendy Williams, she was living in her car in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, and got her first radio job, right? Like, look at her now. Like,
She need to be off.
if you don't stop,
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, everybody has their stories, right? Everybody has, everybody. I mean, I would have loved to stay home, right, and get a job close to home, but I freaking packed up 2 little suitcases and I went to the Virgin Islands, and I didn't know not a damn person there, right? But it was the most uncomfortable and crazy experience in my life to learn I've never even lived by myself. So to live by myself on an island, thousands and thousands of miles away, I can't drive to my family's house. I got to catch a whole flight. The water's beautiful, but you can drive around the island in an hour. Like, you get bored,
Swim. Better than being in Montana.
If you don't stop.
It is.
It was a
ain't nothing in Montana. At least y'all got water. They got
some
ground.
water to take pictures in on Twitter.
Nothing in Montana but Hannah.
Hannah
Montana.
But Hannah, at least she has something that kind of look like it there. At the end of the day,
Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana.
That's
so our experiences are not as bad as some others. I'm
Right.
like,
First
living
world.
in Montana.
First world problems, right?
First world problems.
true.
Hey,
My iPhone broke.
yeah, like,
Motherfuckers over there starving.
Right, okay. But
It's
you know,
true.
I got you.
It's true, but it you know, it's back to just having that game plan in your head, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever, it may not happen overnight. I'm so concerned because there's a generation of young people, the Gen Zers, right? My youngest brother's in that
Microwave
group,
generation.
and you know they're in this generation where they grew up with social media, where it's something new, right? They're instant celebrities, and the motto of work and hard work and being is foreign to them. Like this should happen overnight,
Microwave,
right? Like
popcorn.
this is not.
They don't know what
This is not it, right?
I want to be Cleo Greene. They don't know you had to
right.
go
It's not.
you
Yeah.
want Cracker Jack.
Yeah, you want.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
So
They weren't with you shooting in. They weren't. They weren't with us shooting in the gym.
You wouldn't shoot with me in the gym. At the end of the day.
Exactly.
But I want to be you. You don't. We see the seed.
We
And
see
me
the
and my
seed.
friends, I'm so appreciative of where I'm at in my life right now. Because I got older friends and I have friends that's my age and I have younger friends. But I've been through so much.
Right.
I've been through so much. So don't get this smile twisted.
You know what,
Don't.
Vaughn? If you don't
Zip
stop.
it.
Don't. Ain't I always smiling when you see
You
me?
are. You are.
Okay, don't think it's always been
You are.
nice. Don't think it's always been nice.
I didn't
but
see
you
them.
have to
I didn't
fall
see
in
them
love.
throw baby
Huh? Oh yeah, you see me when I got a little
baby. What's the thing called? I'm sorry.
baby a crib.
I didn't see them throw a baby crib.
I don't want to know the story. I don't want to know the
I
story.
was going through when I first met Corey.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, CP the real.
Hey,
For the viewers.
For the viewers.
yeah.
Back in
2003, baby.
2003.
Oh
We've
my
been
God.
rocking that long. So I met his parents, and Corey and them was still, fairly young, and so we were able to relate to their family because me and my wife.
We're in the same spot.
Yeah. Me and their father we would leave because we had jobs that wasn't here. So the moms were there with their 3 boys. My wife got 3
Isn't that
boys.
crazy?
My ex-wife had 3 boys, and there's 3 of them. So they were able to connect like that, and we were gone for extensive amounts of time. And so we created our bond like that. So we became invested into the Polk family, and the Polk family became invested in us. So we watched each other's back, and the wives, took care of each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so those times really created our bond. And so we met each other at the same time. We also almost divorced at the same time.
All right, can we not get to that point?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, so
God is
no, but that's a part of life, man. That's a part of life.
Facts.
That's a part of life, man. So I was
Yeah.
there. I was there through their parents, through his parents' divorce. I remember the tears because I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was there with mine. And so Corey CP got a chance to witness one of the times where I got, it's, and nothing hits that level 10 mark like a marriage that's, you know what I'm saying, we rocking and rolling and that thing, and then we trying to figure it out. And it was one of those moments, and Corey was over there. And I got angry. I got angry probably one of the first times Corey ever said he ain't never really seen
You scared me.
How many times?
I want to know what the baby thing was. Like, what was the baby
Since
thing?
2003, how many times have you seen me mad?
That's the only time.
So what happened?
Okay, she's the only person that could get to me.
That's seriously.
right.
Now
You
that
know
I
why?
think
Because that was because she knew me and I knew her.
Right.
and that's crazy.
She
that
knew
you-
I was invested.
Yeah.
I was invested into her.
That's crazy
You know
because
what
I
I'm
know
saying?
your character, and we've spent
Yeah.
a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Like, we 20 years deep into a friendship,
Yeah,
and I can
so
honestly say that is the only time in almost 20 years I've actually
he
seen
never
you
seen me
upset.
lose it. I lost it. I lost it.
But I'm
One
trying to
time.
get to what
What
happened.
happened?
Well,
Dive
can we
it,
get to
dive
that point? Can we
Yeah.
get to the build up?
Okay,
Hold on, wait.
When did my story?
Cleo, baby.
Cleo's
stop your.
Where did that
We didn't stop your eyeliner.
Easy on the hand.
We let you change your voice.
Not
do all
easy
this
on the
shit on the
hand.
show. We let you do all this shit on the show.
Wagwan, eh?
We let you do all that and all that other shit. And no disrespect. That's some of that Generation Z shit. No disrespect, even though they disrespected you. I'm like, motherfucker, you just disrespected me. No, they do that. No disrespect, motherfucker, you already did it. But anyway, so we had man, we just reached the climax at this point, man, because I really wanted it to work. This is my first time going through that. And that's part of the journey and part of the process you have to fall in love with.
Right.
And you realize that down the road that you needed that for your personal growth. Right. You needed that. It's a beautiful process. But not at that time, man. I was angry, man. And I got angry with her because we were having communication issues. We were not able to connect. And I wasn't able to understand her, and she wasn't able to understand me. And we were both athletes, and so she was aggressive towards me. And I let her know I can do something here if I felt like it. If I felt like it. I said, don't take my kindness and my love for you for weakness. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been here for you.
Now watch me throw this baby crib out the window.
Yeah, and she pissed me off.
Wait, Chad. The baby's in there.
Wait. No,
let me grab the baby first.
We have to clear that up.
Wait a minute. No, it was just me. It was just me, her, and I believe CP in my media room.
Why was you?
Because we're neighbors, man. We invested to each other's families now, so we tight.
Literally, my dad's house.
Arguing and you just.
Yeah, so when I went there,
dad's house. Yeah.
I didn't go over there for an argument. Like I was already.
No, he was just over there. He was just over there. So I was over there, and in his face, he was just like. I wish you could have seen his face. He was like, "Oh my god, big homie then blew his fucking heart." Yeah, I mean, him and her was like. And I was like,
"Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!" She didn't poke the bear too much.
Oh my god!
I was like,
"Man,
you see me if I would
do you threw the baby crib out the window?"
Oh my god!
We try to. I want to know too. I want to know, like, Cleo, when do we get to the baby crib?
So a portable baby crib, the collapsible,
the pack and play,
pack and play.
Shout out to pack and play.
In the media room, because we would put the baby in that one sometimes. My youngest son Roman was born in 2007. He was probably like he was less than 2 years old. So he was still a toddler, so he was very young. And it was sitting in the room, and me and her was going back and forth in court. It was like, oh my god.
Why is that like that?
First of all, he was
because he's tall.
She said something.
Oh my god, big homie.
And she was fucking with me, and I picked up that baby collapsible thing, and I threw it.
He threw it like a disc.
Yeah, I threw it. And I threw it across the room, but I purposely threw it past her. I said, "No, that could have been."
Big homie.
Hold on, wait, we didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said it could have been you if I really wanted it to be.
This is all fun and games, guys. Shout out to Plaque and Play.
Oh my god!
But I did say that. But we get to those.
Why did you say that could have been you?
But those of us who are married, and I got married at 24 years old. You see what I'm saying? I was young and I was still full of testosterone. It was like,
oh my god!
I was like, I dare you.
You were 24?
Yeah, I got married at 24 years old.
That was normal.
No, I got married at 23, and I had my sons at 24 and 25.
Could have been you.
Yeah, I told her she pissed me off.
This could have been you. I'm still on that.
Yeah,
you better be lucky.
This could have been you.
She was aggressive too. She was an athlete, and so she had a certain level of being stubborn and a certain level of pride about her. She didn't let people fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? So she was fucking with me that day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an arguer at all. I'm about trying to get shit together and You know what I'm saying?
But you never
Let's
hit
move
her,
forward.
so that was
Absolutely
But I
not.
did
I
not
wouldn't. I wouldn't, and I grew up in a household
right.
like that.
It just almost
No. I didn't. I know I'm never supposed to lay my hands on a woman. No, I did not. I did not hit her. I did not hit her.
For the record, Big Homie did not hit her.
No, I've never put my
Nobody was damaged. Shout out to Pac.
Big homie is a lover, not a fighter, baby. He's Superman lover.
I had probably one fight my entire life.
Superman,
like for real, man. Because I'm usually peaceful. I'm able to get along with people.
Right. But it ain't that you're able to get along with people. It's that
they scared of your ass.
You could be a selfish. You could be a selfish. Look. I don't care.
Hashtag he love knives.
The thing with you.
Don't do that.
Hey man,
don't take it back to 2003, Corey. I mean, CP the real.
Jump up in my story.
Not 2003, Corey.
You don't need to jump up and change my story because you want to make a point for it. You're going to tell you. You're going to spoil
Let's talk about that ketchup in front of your street.
No, let's not do that. So back to manifesting our dreams.
Yes, back to manifesting our dreams. Cleo, like I said, man, I think that.
How did we change?
Oh man,
because
ketchup is real now.
That's the way the world is. We want to
it's
dirt.
quick. You gotta adjust back.
Facts.
Shade room.
But nah, man. Again, I think that you are a vision of success. Your vision of success. You are a vision of.
My bad. That was my point. Try Jesus, not me.
We got you.
And that's what I told her. I'm done since you didn't let me stop mine. I said, try Jesus. And don't try me. And that's when the baby crib went.
That's when the baby crib went.
And she was like,
to show your strength.
And she was like,
Big homie,
but she's always she know how to press my buttons, and I didn't have to stop her. I didn't have to stop her too. She didn't call me the MF. I'm gonna kill you. I was like,
look, we're not gonna go. Look, we're not gonna go into that.
God is dope. God is dope, bro. God is dope.
But that was then, though.
Right.
But we the best friends now. We better friends now than we ever were when we were married. No lie, I talk to her every day. Okay. Like, why the hell are we talking so much?
Aww. We ain't talking as much when we was married.
Right. I don't think a husband like that. But
CP the real.
But I don't think it. I mean, he's not supposed to. But it's not like it's not even like. Oh my.
Anyway.
Manifest your dream.
It's more of a respect thing because we respect each other.
Hey, big homie, shut up. Shut up.
I'm about to mention.
Look, that's showtime that got to him.
2 minutes showtime.
Facts. You know what? 12.
I drink one drink.
Nah, but sister, I love you, man. I think that you are a vision of success for the Black community. I think that you are a vision of hope and what can be. I want to leave the listeners and the viewers with, some wise words. What would be, if you could write a letter to the next, little girl, and we're going, this is secret, man. This is the next Black little girl. You know what I mean? Like, right in today's climate and in this show, man, we are constant advocates of the Black community, constant advocates of, our growth and our acceleration, and our progression, in our position in this world. So you're writing a letter to the next Black little girl. What is that piece of advice that you would tell? And that could be a letter to your future daughter. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, what is that next? What does that letter look like?
How am I starting this off? I've seen this show, so am I doing dear something?
No, we're not there yet.
Oh, I thought it was that
wise words from Cleo.
I thought it was that
wise words from Cleo.
Right now.
Okay.
It's not their Black people.
If you don't stop.
No.
It would be, if I was writing a letter to a little Black girl who could have been myself years and years ago, I would say, you are beautiful. You are confident. Do not look for validation in this world. Remember that you are smart. Remember that you can learn anything that you want to learn. Remember that if no one teaches you how to succeed, you can still succeed. I would tell that little girl that the world is your oyster. Don't be afraid to have friends and mentors of all different colors, right? We can learn something from everybody. I would tell that little girl to invest in yourself, right? Invest in yourself. I'm talking about financial literacy. I'm talking about reading and being knowledgeable of what's happening in our world and knowing what's going on in the universe, right? Knowledge is power. When you can be able to come to the table and know a little bit about everything, that means so much, right?
Yes.
I would tell that little girl that don't let anyone stop you in your tracks. The main thing, I guess, for me is to stop looking for validation from people, because you won't get it when you're doing good.
Right.
You won't,
Of course.
right? You'll get it when you're doing when you're doing bad, right? Like, people will always be your friend when you're not doing so good. But don't be afraid to shine a light on yourself. This world, we all have friends and family, but it's really a lonely place. Right? If you believe in God, if you have a relationship with a higher power, like, invest in that and what makes you happy, because that's what's going to keep you going. Depression is the number one killer of so many young people these days, because, right, like, it will really take a toll on you, especially with social media and seeing everybody's highlights in life. Stop, right? Like, that's not reality. Everyone's posting what's good in their life. That is not.
They don't post what's bad.
That is not a real thing. So it's to my young people who that is their reality, right? Don't remember that is just a highlight reel of everybody's life, and you can have that as well. But there are struggles with everyone's picture that you see. So to my little girls out there, anything is possible. Anything is possible, and you have such an amazing platform. I mean, you could literally affect millions of people from your own bedroom with the power of social media and being virtual, especially during this pandemic. So to my little girls, you are unstoppable.
Cleo Greene, God damn it!
Stop! Come on now.
Shut up!
Drop the mic, baby! God damn it, my sister's better than yours.
Stop!
Oh shit, man, it's hard to segue into this next session because you got us all deep and focused. So we're gonna let you have fun.
Keep it right there.
Yeah,
Can we? Are we gonna have fun?
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Okay.
Keep it right there, because I love it. I'm about that.
You got that intellectual shit. You know what I mean?
Let's push through.
That mental stimulation.
Yeah, let's push through, baby.
Absolutely.
Because we know the struggle. Us older people know it. People, like she said, depression is a sickness. I've learned that this year. My son went through depression. For somebody like me to be so mentally and spiritually strong, to what nothing gets to you like your kids. You hear me? You know how strong I am, dude? For my son to go through that shit cracked me down the middle. No lie. I cried more. That's why me and their mama close. We didn't cry more together this year than we ever have when we was married.
It's real.
Our children took us through that. Our children took, because I'm passionate about my children. I'm passionate about their mom. I appreciate the fact that she carried them, because that's my baby mom. You see what I'm saying? I was there with her. I didn't know what to say. I really didn't know what to say.
That's a different type of love.
But I watched what she went through. I was there with her, and I appreciate her for being that carrier to introduce my children to this world. You know what I'm saying? I watched what she went through, because I remember her when she was 19, and I see her now. You see what I'm saying? I was there with you. And so I appreciate that. And so anything that's about the journey is beautiful to me. I learned a lot about that, about depression and what people go through, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned about myself this year, and depression is serious.
It is.
It is, man. And they need people.
It's a killer.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. For somebody to go through all the stuff like you did, having to fit, having to be a different shape to fit into a different mold, I know what that feels like. So I can appreciate these times. But for those in Generation Z who think things are microwave, they don't get to see the beef. They don't get to see the meat on the sandwich. They get to see the full sandwich made. you know, and
Times
it's
have
our
changed.
job to help us.
It is.
I'm sorry, them.
It is.
It's our job to help them and help others in the community catch up.
Right.
It's our job. And sometimes we step into places that we don't necessarily volunteer for. I've learned it about myself in the COVID era. In the COVID era. I've learned that about myself. Yeah. People need your strength. People need your motivation and your power, influence, and your impact.
Energy.
Or just your face. Does more than what you think it does.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I don't even think that you realize that,
no,
sister.
I don't. Because I've been through so much.
No, I mean, you get up and you get on the news every day, and somebody that's just feeling like shit could turn on the channel, see you talking, and be like,
whole day.
all right, let's keep going.
I can do this.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
It takes a process to realize that. I don't think my words mean anything to anybody. I don't think my journey meant anything to anybody.
You can always inspire somebody.
I have looked at you my whole life, brother. I love you. I've looked at you my whole life.
I love you too. All the times I've saved you.
I have looked at you my whole life, and you have taught me what not to do.
Haven't I?
I'm just
not from my experience, but from my words too, man. I always looked out for them.
Yeah, did.
No,
don't do this.
Man, I ain't gonna never lie to them. I've never lied to them, and I never will. You know what I'm saying? My people. If people say they love you or they mess with you, they supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to have the tough conversations. We have to. That's what I'm here for.
That is real.
I am an extension of your parents. Even though I stay across the street, I'm still an extension of your parents.
And that relationship is like gone. You rarely see that happen these days.
No,
because people want to be a guest man. Nobody's
ain't gonna be gone between me and the Pope.
I know.
We tied together for life.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
You're not gonna mess with none of them.
So
you're not gonna mess with none of them.
Heavy on the Pope.
Heavy on
the P.
Heavy
on the
Heavy on it, baby.
Much love.
So we got Cleo Greene on the show today, aka Cleo Poke. We're not gonna dive. We're not gonna dive into that, but understand that she's a poke.
I am.
Legally.
For life.
For life.
For life, baby. You better talk it, baby.
For life.
You better talk
it.
But we're gonna dive into Ask Cleo real quick. You know, we want.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we want the people. Yeah, we want the people to get a feel.
I thought we didn't have much time left.
Go, we got all the time.
Don't worry about it.
It ain't no script with all tomorrow, right?
God damn it.
I gotta go to work.
See now.
God damn it, we got all the goddamn time in the world. I want to know, and we can go around the table, but I got a few questions for you.
Lord.
I want to know what motivates Cleo Greene. When you wake up in the morning, what motivates you?
What motivates me? Passion. I love what I do. Even though I wake up at freaking 1:30 in the morning for my job. I mean, I can't think of anything else in this world that I would rather do. Right? Unless I'm some multi-billionaire and I could just live by the beach and call it a day. But I absolutely love what I do. I love writing stories. I love knowing at all times what's going on. I love the news. I do. I generally have a passion for my job, and that is what motivates me to get up every morning. I genuinely love what I do. I do. Beautiful. I really like, and not many people can say that. Absolutely. Like, right? Like, I really love my job. I do.
Yeah. I'm gonna put you in a rock and a hard place because probably some of your, Caribbean family gonna disown you after this question.
No,
what's the question?
Caribbean food.
Caribbean
music.
Okay.
If you had to live without, which one? You gotta choose one.
Oh.
Is it the food or is it the music? Which one feeds your soul, Cleo? You can only have one.
You know what?
It's the music or the food.
I would have to have the Caribbean food.
The food.
I would. I couldn't live without that because, I grew up on saltfish and ackee, curry chicken, oxtail, plantain, banana, stewed chicken, all of that.
What's the shit I used to call bananas?
Plantain.
Plantain.
But, and then the plantain. Some people say, but it's plantain. But the only reason, I love my soca music. I love my reggae music. But I love that so many American artists are like, mixing it into theirs, right? So I could still get the beat a little bit if I had to do without one.
Okay.
Yep.
That was a tough question.
Shut up.
Food or music? Like seriously, coming from the islands, food or music?
It is.
I can't do without the music.
Look at he like to wine.
Wine me, please.
I do.
Rain more. Yeah.
Okay. Look, you trying to do a little wine.
Okay.
Come on, big Vaughn. Damn, that's big on right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
hilarious.
what I'm talking about.
Hilarious.
I be ready to whine. Ooh, I be ready to whine.
That needs to be his ringtone.
Oh
Right.
my goodness, I be ready to get to it. It speaks to my soul,
It
man.
does. It
Does.
speaks to
Both
my
the
soul
food and the
too.
music, man. We're all connected like that, man.
We are. We are.
It'd be tough for me to lose me because music is in my soul.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
love
wake
the
up
music
singing every
too,
day,
but I
so.
could not lose the food. I couldn't.
I can
It
live
just-
without the food, man.
Food
The
is
music does something
my-
to me.
Yeah, you
They-
drinking shakes now? What you
You
talking
know,
about?
shake,
Protein shake.
Shakes and drinks, baby.
Never
But
mind.
you living without the Caribbean part.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's kick it over to the queen. The queen look like she got some
She
on
got
her
bloody
mind.
queen.
Yeah.
She overdoing
Yeah.
this.
Hi,
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah, we're gonna
I just wanna
again.
know, so we talked
This is
about
Ask
your-
Cleo. Go ahead.
Ask please. So we talked about your best piece of advice.
Yeah.
I want to know what's some of the worst advice that you've gotten,
The worst advice that
Or-
I've gotten
just period, the worst advice that you've ever received.
Direction.
in terms of career or personal life.
Both. Fuck
Whichever. Let's do both. Yeah. let's do
Both of them.
There we go.
Oh God. Okay. In terms of career, it would have to be. I remember my news director in the Virgin Islands told me that if I want to succeed in stations in the mainland, right,
Okay.
in different states, that I would have to straighten my hair
Oh, hell
more and look more white.
Oh
Mm.
wow.
He
She
was telling- but he was telling you.
distinctly, she
Shit, I'm
distinctly
sorry.
told me that, right?
Interesting.
She told me that. And, you know, because I used to wear my hair the way it is now, right? On my weekends, I love to wear my hair the way it naturally is instead of
Right.
straightening it.
And for the
with the
viewers,
iron,
this
you
is
know?
her real hair.
All of
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
It is.
Her real
And
hair.
it's my real hair too.
Me too.
But it was that, you know, and I think I always just had that in my brain. So whatever station I went to, I was just, you know, trying to be like the white girls,
Okay.
like trying to, you know,
That's interesting.
fit in like
Okay.
them. And that was the way it was. So I'm so thankful for, you know, this new
Right,
onset of
right.
things where I can come out
You
and,
can be who you
know,
are.
really
Right.
be who
Yeah.
I am. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey.
And I appreciate my station here in Dallas because I mean,
They embrace that. right?
yeah, more than
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
station
Go ahead,
in
drop that-
Dallas.
Drop
Yeah.
the white girl accent and just go ahead and just be yourself.
Pretty much.
I don't care.
Pretty much without saying it.
It's
right?
not white.
Like,
It's just
without
correct
saying it.
English,
There you
guys.
go.
Thank you.
Well,
True.
Diction. Unurban.
Unurban. I
I
can't.
remember
Right?
I was watching the news. I was like,
Unurban.
urban.
What does that
I
mean?
said, is that a new word for black?
You know,
Because I'm not dumb. I'm not a dumb guy. I'm very heavy on words, and I listen to
Heavy
people.
on the word.
What does urban mean? That's what I want to know. What did you start
I
saying?
never knew what that meant.
Inner city,
Honestly,
Urban.
and you start saying urban.
Urban.
That's your
Urban
nice
mean.
way of
Tell me
saying
what
black.
you
it's
say.
true.
Yeah.
Tell me what are you
is it
saying?
in
Speak
between or
English.
is it black
That's
or
what
is
I
it
want.
white or what is it?
It's true.
I want to know that. I did.
In
man.
Philly, they would say inner city, and you know what inner city
It
is.
went from inner city to urban. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Now, what about in your personal life?
Ooh, personal
Uh-oh.
life.
To choose.
It's been so much. You know, I think it would just be. I think it would be, just old school advice from like people and you know the women in my family who are Caribbean women.
Careful. Careful.
They are, you know, the women in my family are very boisterous, very headstrong, right? Like
Be careful.
it's true. Like all the women in my family, you know, they've gone to college. They have these amazing jobs. They're, you know, one of them is a CEO, a civil engineer,
Come on now.
a doctor,
Talk
a
that
lawyer,
shit.
like just all these
Walk that walk.
big
Talk
time
that
jobs.
talk,
You know what I
money.
mean? But I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, like in their marriages,
Uh-oh.
they are
They don't-
the dog, like the
Oh,
top
okay,
dog
yeah, no.
in their
Oh.
family. You know what
There's
I mean?
a pecking order there.
Well,
Right? Like they're the
Stay on the same.
and I'm just being honest,
pecking
right?
order.
But anywho,
Don't do that.
My poke glass.
They're
So
the-
what
right?
you saying? What are their husbands
They're the big dogs in their family, and you know, every woman in my family is the breadwinner in the family. You know what I
Same
mean?
here.
And in that order,
Same here.
I kind of have grown up seeing them. I don't want to say taking advantage, but kind of being a little what's the word that I'm looking for? A little not headstrong and boisterous, but almost talking down to their husbands, right? So I've never seen a family in my life where the man was the the big dog, right?
Well, welcome to the Poe family, baby.
I haven't seen that. So because I've been raised and to see that, right? Like that's probably the reason why my father divorced my mom when I was 16 years old, right?
She talks about it.
No, because she was just in that same circle too, right? Like not elevating my father
absolutely
as she should, right? Like so
absolutely.
I have to break a generational curse in my own family with my own husband and make sure that he is, the man of our house. And you know what I mean? I'm not saying this is Little House on the Prairie. I'm saying like I want my husband to feel like he if you don't stop, I want my husband to feel like he is the man of the
head of the
house.
house.
You know what I mean? Like he's taking care of us. Right?
Going that way sometimes.
Right. But we we're in a phase where we've moved to another spot and he's doing some things to this spot and he had to tell me the other day, stop trying to be my supervisor. And I had to say, shit, like, okay. Let me stop trying to supervise. Like,
sometimes it's
hard.
Sometimes because we'll have a vision and it's like you're not understanding the vision, and I can just get the vision done.
Right.
So let me just.
So I need to I'm trying to teach myself
let me do.
And I feel like
I got this, baby.
It's a team, right? So everybody, you got to play your position.
Right. But I feel like in today's generation, the word submissive is so looked down upon.
Right. And I don't even want to use that word.
Right. Because it's like, people like, you think I'm just being a yes man, but it's like at the end of the day, you do want your husband to feel like a man.
I do. I want him to feel like he's making some decisions for us and. Because I've seen the men in my family, they wilt away like a little flower, and they don't say shit anymore. They don't go anywhere, right? So
we ain't got time to talk.
Go in your room.
That shows the view that comes on every day. Y'all can talk or sit down. It's like their husband was like, you know what? I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm serious. I'm older than everybody on here.
But then it also
we
it's
know
so true.
Talk or talk or sit down.
But that goes, it goes so deep.
That's called the rope-a-dope.
If you don't stop,
rope-a-dope.
If you don't stop.
It is. We'll let you talk yourself to death until you're tired. Have you ever watched Muhammad Ali, the Thriller in Manila? Yeah. Okay, he let George Foreman beat until he got tired. Go ahead and talk your shit.
I'm going to knock your ass out.
I'm going to let you do all that. Until you get tired. But you don't learn that until you get to an older man. I'm going to let you talk yourself out. Because I can't out-talk a woman. We can't, y'all will burn us to the ground.
It's true.
You learn that.
And I'm learning.
But you know what? There's still love from us because there's still love and respect. It's just we have submitted to that, and you have to do that a lot of times. As a husband of a strong black woman, you gotta.
And that's me. And sometimes I can be too much, and I know.
And we know.
And I know. I can't.
So what's next, man? Again, like I said, we know who you are today. We see you every day. But what's next? I mean, I see greatness for you.
Thank you.
I support all of your success and your future endeavors. So what is next for Cleo Greene? I mean, you've obviously achieved one of your dreams. At what you said, eighth grade or 8 years old?
Yeah, eighth grade.
To
become an anchor. Yeah.
So you're here, you're doing that. I mean, what is a lot of people get complacent. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So what is next for Cleo Greene? I mean, what are your dreams? What can we?
Oh God.
I know you're doing a lot of speaking engagements. Like, I love that. I love that. I love seeing you on panels. I love seeing you at these speaking engagements and motivating these young women on top of your 9 to 5. So again, what's to come?
I think my next step is, for the past 12 years, it's been about, the drive and climbing this ladder. So I think at this point in my life, I really just want to hone in on North Texas and, create an organization where I am helping young women and men get to where they want, but I'm taking a moment, right, for as long as I can to kind of work on my family and, to see if I can bring a life into this world. Like that's where I'm at. And then the next stage would would try to be national. I would love to go national.
You love to go national?
I do want to go national. I do.
I love that.
And I tell my husband, I'm like, if I can go national and you be a stay-at-home dad, that's what's gonna happen. And he's like, I can't be no stay-at-home dad. I'm like, if we're making Robin Roberts money, you'll be a stay-at-home dad. But yeah, that is my end goal,
to be
right?
national.
To be national. But I want to be here for as long as WFA keeps me. I'm enjoying it, and I love it here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's like I gotta prove to myself that I can do it. So
Big homie.
And I see that happening. Like I said, in due time.
I love North Texas.
We are going to,
however,
we're going to manifest Cleo's dreams.
Yes.
You have I want you to understand that you have a support system. Like you have
the next Robin Roberts.
Man, I'm serious. Like you have an entire people, you have an entire community that is rallied behind you every day, whether or not you realize it or not. So you untouchable in these streets.
Come on now.
You don't stop.
Be the next Cleo Greene.
Yeah,
Come on now.
Cleo Greene is safeguarded by the Black community. She is uplifted by the Black community. She is encouraged by the Black community, and she is first and foremost protected by the Black. Yeah,
thank you,
by the Black community.
With the knives collection. With the knife collection.
Yeah,
Shout out to the knives.
we got you. We got you.
Shout out to the knives,
We
baby.
got you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But I appreciate you on the
In the
show
back
today,
and
sister.
forth.
I appreciate you
Thanks for having me.
allowing us to dive into your shit, all evening. But on to the next segment.
Queen is out of control.
Is she out of control?
Yeah.
You know.
I need you to reel her in.
Reel her in.
On to the next segment of the show.
Okay.
Again, you're familiar with this show. And again, we appreciate your letter to the little Black girls, but this dear Black people, you can cut loose. You know, it ain't gotta be
button against
Ain't no
it.
filter.
You
Yeah,
said
you know what I mean?
before.
You know what I mean? So this is our segment of the show where we get to speak to the Black community with anything that's, on our hearts, in our minds, or on our souls. On our souls, you know what I mean? Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. This is where
Preferably the ugly.
this is where we speak the truth, man. So we're gonna kick it off with Mr. Pokefit. Let's go. And none of that. Look, I wake up to you again. Yeah, I wake up to you at 6 a.m. every morning. Be the best that you can be and push yourself and get your ass out of none of that motivational shit. You know what I mean? I get that shit on my timeline every day.
That shit.
I want that real. You know what I mean? I want
real.
that. I want
I
that
get
real.
some real shit today.
There we go, Mr. Pokefit, dear
I'm
Black
running
people.
back like
Let's
Turbo.
go. Run it back.
After a 3-month hiatus.
I'm back for season 2, motherfucker.
Let's go, baby. Dear Black people.
Ah, man. Dear Black people,
Wash your ass.
I'm gonna say this one time, man. And Cleo said it, and it kind of sparked my mind, sparked my head. Man, the only requirement to success is being uncomfortable, man. Like, stop being fucking lazy. Like, stop trying to live in your old ways, and you want to get to the next level in your life. You can't live life comfortable. You have to live uncomfortable every day. Every day, take risks. Stop bullshitting with your life. Stop gaining weight. Go to the gym. I don't give a fuck what it is. Find a way to be a better you in every aspect. I don't care. Whatever you've been thinking about since 5 years ago, 1 month ago, do that shit. Do that shit. Quit procrastinating. Quit being lazy. Get that shit done. That's it.
That work.
Oh,
That
and
work.
one last thing. I'm back, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's it.
Look at it.
Drop
All
the
right.
mic.
The
Drop
queen.
the
The queen.
That's it.
Brought tears to my eyes.
That's it.
I'm glad to have you back.
I can dig it.
You're like, I'm the only one cussing while you was gone.
No, I was.
Put in more
I don't cuss on the
testosterone.
I don't cuss on the show. Do I, Terrence? I don't cuss on the show. Shout out to Terrence J.
Hey, man.
Right, the Radio Therapy
I'm always
Network.
giving Terrence J, the big ups.
Give
That's me, because I
Not
don't
the
forget
big
the
ups.
people.
Get that man his
I don't
shine.
forget
It's
the people.
flowers.
I give people they shine, and they can, he's the reason why we on here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Radio Therapy Network,
Radio
man.
Therapy Network, Terrence J, he got his, degree from Twitter or whatever.
Mr. Baby Rudy V.
Shut up, Terrence.
The queen. Go ahead, queen. Hit him with the dear Black people. What you
All
got?
right.
I know you ready.
got one side.
Love forever. Okay. Dear Black people, bring natural bodies back. Meaning,
turn my head back for this.
It's okay to be authentic. It's okay to be you. And with having Cleo on the show, it's shown me that it's okay to be a Black woman in a space of power. It's okay to be a Black woman and be you. Be who you are. Quit trying to fit in boxes. And sometimes it's okay to listen to advice, but you don't have to take it all. Only a dumb person wouldn't listen. You can listen and say, either I'm going to apply this, or I was just glad to hear it, to know that this is something I'll never need ever again. But I think that we should get back to being who we are authentically. Quit trying to be like the Joneses, the Nickys, the Beyoncés. Be who you are. Be Artavia, be Cleo, be Chris, be CP, be Big Homie. Be who it is that you want to be and be okay with it. So, AKA bring natural bodies back.
I'm Pofit, by the way.
Walk that walk.
I'm Pofit, by the way, not Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my government
Big
name.
guys
Y'all
out there,
know.
take your shirt off, baby. Get
Or go holler at Pofit.
Go holler at Pofit if they're not comfortable with you.
Please.
Oh my God.
Do not wear a waist trainer or a sweatband, please. I'm gonna tell you, ass to go home.
Cleo Greene. Cleo
Yeah,
Greene.
I know we're going to Big Von.
You want to go Big Von? You want Big Von go
You want
first?
Big Von to go
Let's
first?
go. Let's go,
Okay,
Big Baby.
great,
Let's
great.
go. What you got for us, Big
Well,
Von?
first of all, Cleo, I thank you for taking
Absolutely,
the time
man.
to
I
be
love
here.
you, sister.
I
I'm glad
appreciate
I was
you,
here. This
and
was
I
fun.
love you. I love you because
I love you too.
for a lot of reasons. I love your husband. Okay, not like that.
I know.
First of all, not like that, but that's family to me.
Right.
But I know if he chose you, it had to be something special.
Facts.
And I got a chance to witness the wedding.
Oh,
his
I just
wedding.
want to put
His
a time
wedding?
out. Yo,
Yes, sir. Your
y'all
whole
wedding.
suit was tight.
Y'all wedding
Your whole
was the
suit
best
I
was
swear to
wedding
God,
ever.
Y'all wedding was probably, and
Did
I've
you
been to
go
a
to
couple
mine?
weddings. Like y'all wedding was
Did you go to
dope.
mine?
as-
No, you didn't go.
Shut the hell up.
Did
No.
you go to
Hey,
mine?
no
He
cap.
wasn't
They
even
wedding
born.
was
I
the
wouldn't
best
even-
wedding
No,
I've
he
ever been
was
to.
born. He was born. I
You
got
didn't
married
invite
in
me. I'm sorry.
2004. You was a
2004?
baby.
No, 2000. Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
young,
you was sleeping in the carriage. Your mom on there.
Yeah, shut up.
Go ahead,
Shut up.
finish.
No. Hands down, like I know you've posted like pictures on social
Yeah.
media and stuff, but like y'all wedding
It was
was
a bomb.
dope
Dope.
as
From
hell.
start to
It
finish.
was one of the
Was
most
it?
beautiful.
It was like a
It was
blur to me.
fun.
I talked about your wedding
It
for
is.
like
Like
that next
yo,
whole
that
week.
was one of the best
Absolutely,
weddings I've ever
Ever.
been
Well,
to.
hell,
in my
Ever.
life.
I wanted it to be like a
He's
family
27.
party.
I'm just
Ain't
saying.
none of his friends, man.
I'm
It's the
just-
only
Hey,
wedding.
I've been in
I'm
some
just
weddings
saying.
now.
I'm just saying, like
No,
that
man,
wedding,
you been to
like
one wedding.
I've been to like 5.
that shit was like a
From
party.
your friends.
And I told.
So you know they getting married
Hey,
at
shut up.
Justice of Peace wedding.
Hey, shut up. Shut up. I told Corn. I told my brother. I said
Oh my
I was going to
God.
use y'all wedding planner. Like when I get married, I'm
Wasn't
using.
she was
When
dope?
is that?
It was dope.
Right? I
It
want to
was-
know too.
It was. Oh my. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But go ahead, big
Can
man.
I have my? Can I have
Can you
my?
can have your moment. Go.
Can I have my talk?
You brought up the wedding, so I just
Yeah,
want.
my
I
dear
just.
black
I just
people.
wanted
Yes,
the world
sir.
to know that they missed.
Well,
a
anyway,
moment.
I was having my intimate moment with Cleo. Goddamn it, you done jumped in here and start doing your own shit. You have your own time when you come on.
It's my turn.
It's
my time? It's on your
Shit,
time.
that's silly. Okay.
All right.
All right,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I want to say I appreciate you and I love you first of all. And dang, I forgot I was gonna say because
Oh my goodness, big homie.
No, he did. He
People.
did. Yeah, it is dear black people, but
He wants to like, yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
no. I had another point, but I lost it when I was talking to him when he said that. I did. I lost that thing. Come on back, Chad.
You
Come
need to-
on back. Oh, fall in love with the process.
Ooh.
Fall in love with the process, guys. It's not a microwave thing. And I'm not that old. I'm older than a whole lot of people, but I'm younger than a lot of people. I got people that call me old, because I walk down my street and some people say, "What's up, school?" And then I got some people that call me baby. And that's a beautiful place to be. Y'all, you're a baby. You know what I'm saying? And you have to fall in love with the process because everything is necessary in your life, whether you like the fact of being uncomfortable or things going great.
Yeah.
It's all necessary for the journey.
Mhm.
It is. Fall in love with the process. And I don't think we are truly able to appreciate that process until we get older. I love my age. I love where I am here. I love where I am here. I'm
Right.
happy. Now, You know, some other stuff could be better.
And it will get better.
Of course.
It's going to get better. But you
Mhm.
know what? I have a sense of responsibility. I have a sense of responsibility for the people around me because people don't have my energy.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something I learned
I
through
like
the COVID
that.
era.
I love the energy.
That's something I learned through the COVID era. People need that energy to push through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if this their first time going through something or second time going through something, y'all never know what's fucking with me.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Because I'm smiling, but something fucking with me too, just like it fucking with everybody on here.
Mm-hmm.
We on goddamn CP show.
Yeah.
So I can say what I want to say, can I?
Absolutely.
Because
No
I'm
filter,
talking
baby.
my shit.
And talking shit makes me feel good.
Makes
And
you feel
talking
good.
shit makes me feel good. Except with a bigger shirt on. So that's my dear black people. Fall in love with the process and the Cleo Greene. I appreciate you coming on the show and I love you.
This is fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're so
Don't do that because that's genuine.
All right, sister, you want it? You want me to take it? What you want to do?
Oh, you want me to do one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do a short
What the
one.
hell you mean?
Oh, I thought
The fuck you mean? You're not gonna roll up out of here like that, baby.
Okay, I'll do mine.
Dear black people.
Dear black people.
Exclusive. Cleo Greene.
Dear black people, take a moment during this pandemic to figure out your path to greatness.
Woo!
Right? Like it's going to be different for every single person, but map out where you see yourself at 60, at 65, right? We always live by this motto as, you know, this could be our last day on earth, but not necessarily, right? Like I want people to just have financial literacy to figure out what's going to set them up in the long run, right? You don't want to be 70 still working some little 9-to-5 job. You don't, right? Like figure out, you know, maybe you got to get that insurance policy. Maybe you got to figure out how your retirement is working. Like think in the long run and not just tomorrow, because you need to set up your children and generations to come to be okay, right? Like so many white and Asian and or, you know, just different families that we see, it's not in the black community. So set yourself up for greatness. It means so much, people. And you know, don't take on the stress from other people. Like I know it hurts, but sometimes you just got to get rid of people that you've been holding on in your life for so long that are not bringing you anywhere. Birds of a feather flock together. Like figure out who in your tribe is really helping you and makes you feel happy and really is giving you some knowledge and making you think about things. Because if they're not, if they're constantly bringing you down, you may need to filter them out just a little bit, right? To put yourself up on the level that you need to be on. My friends right now are constantly giving me ideas, and sometimes they make me feel bad that I'm not pushing myself even more, right? And it's okay to make new friends that don't look like you. That don't look like you, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Facts. Drop some mic. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that.
Last but not least, man.
Last but not least.
I done got the rocket over here. I was like, go on here.
Yeah. Preach.
Preach. One, dog. Come on, Cleo. I'm here with you.
Let me see. Dear black people, in the climate today, I would advocate for it takes a village. I recently, you know, Vaughn, like I love the climate that we're in. I love the support that I'm seeing, and I truly feel that it's genuine, it's sincere. So, you know, my words to you would be, it takes a village. It's going to require all of us to support one another, to uplift one another, to share information. Like Cleo said, you know, knowledge is power. You know what I mean? And I think historically, the black community has been maybe, you know, outcast on some of the information, opportunities, exposures, you know, to accelerate us as a people. So it's going to take us to continue to rally together, to continue to brainstorm, to bring ideas together, to continue to invest in one another. You know what I mean? For a long period of time, you know, and rightfully so, you know, within the black community, you know, we have every reason to be skeptical of things, to have a lack of trust in things. But, you know, I think right now in this climate is a perfect time to break those barriers. It's a perfect time to, again, camaraderie and invest in each other. So I see so many beautiful things happening. I see so many business opportunities. I see so many barriers and walls and insecurities and hesitations being broken. And I see us just walking together hand in hand. It's a beautiful thing. So I just hope that we continue down that journey and continuing to understand that, we are truly all we got in this world. It's going to take us as a community, us as a people to push, us forward as an entire race. So it takes a village. We're all we got. Let's continue this momentum and let's continue to love each other, man.
Amen.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Man,
Okay, brother CP.
Man, I love y'all, man. This is probably one of my favorite.
My dog.
Man, it's probably one of my favorite shows.
My dog.
And again, it's because it's family. When I say it's family, it's family. Like I mean
my
that.
Dog right there.
Literally, man. Literally.
Yeah, we fuck around like that. That's what we do.
The long way.
The long way.
The long way, not the short way.
But I do want to give an opportunity, again to the viewers and the listeners. Cleo, I'm sure, like I said, I cap on you all the time. This is my sister. She's a celebrity. She's a celebrity, whatever. But 90% of people already know who you are. You know what I mean? But there might be a small percentage that don't know who you are. But the world is definitely gonna know who the fuck Cleo Greene is after today. You know what I mean? But I want to give them an opportunity to be able to reach out to Cleo and contact her. Again, there may be you have no idea how many people potentially want to do what you're doing and just don't know how. Right. You have a lot of Black girls that are in college that say, hey, I want to be broadcasting and journalism, and I want major in communications, and I just don't know how to navigate. Exactly. So what I mean, producer, hit that next slide. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them Cleo Greene's contact information. You know what I mean?
I definitely answer my DMs on Instagram, Cleo Greene _TV. And also you can send me an email to my work account. That's C Green with an E at the end at WFAA.com. And I'm always looking for people, to either mentor or for guest segments. I'm always looking for something awesome in the community. So
there you go.
Let me know.
So anybody with a business, with an idea, anybody that's really making traction. If you want to get your business exposure, if you want to get your product, you got a patent going on. Like again, reach out to Cleo. If you really got something substantial and you want to bring it to the world, here's an outlet. And like I said, it takes a village. She actually responds. Like if y'all go to Instagram, like she responds to comments.
I was really blown away. I was like,
she responds.
Cleo,
like,
you talking to me? I was like, me?
Yeah. So she actually responds, man. So anybody that's inspired by this segment, again, that sees Cleo, that is familiar with Cleo, and really wants to walk in those footprints, or even just wants to network or connect with a woman of her caliber, you have her Instagram information. Reach out. She's always there to motivate. She's there to share information. She's always spreading love, man. So
always.
Contact information right there.
So sweet.
Your DM's gonna blow up, man.
You're so
Your DM's
sweet.
gonna blow up.
Big
Big homie, we got a gift for you, Cleo. You know what I mean? Everybody that comes on the show, we try to
Y'all are getting fancy on this show.
Wait a minute.
Tag him in.
We do what we have to do here.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I know you.
If it ain't what it's supposed to be posted on it, don't pull it out.
Oh my gosh, shut up. It's official. You don't need a whistle.
Now you can smell your own breath. And I hope it's nice sweet sauce.
So anybody that knows my sister, she's fancy. She loves champagne. She loves champagne. She loves
not a lot, baby girl.
That's all she drinks.
She's a little smidge.
And then we got
she's a smidge.
We got you are officially a member of the Talk to Me Nice family.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Death Row.
Yeah. I'm going to wear it to my
Welcome to Death Row.
They're going to be like, what?
If you want to come to a label where you can shine
and you can talk your shit.
You can talk your shit.
Come and talk to me nice.
Also all up in your videos. Holler at me at Death Row Records.
Talk to me nice.
That's the producer all up in the video.
So you are officially.
This is too cool.
You're officially a member of the Talk to Me Nice family.
You look like an extra thug.
This is pretty.
Daddy, oh God! Yeah. You like you ready to just
you gotta wear that to work
and get rid of somebody real quick. It was like that looked like Cleo Greene. Cleo Greene. That girl had an extension.
Extend out.
Extend up.
All right.
Let's get back on track.
Let's get too urban. Okay?
Oh my God.
Too inner city.
Yeah.
Too inner city.
But like I said, man, I hope y'all enjoy the show, man. Like I said, y'all want to reach out to Cleo, ask questions. Feel free to, drop DMs, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. And we'll connect you with Cleo if we need to. But let's go around the round table, as usual. Let the people know where they can find us, man. I know I'm everybody's favorite, but I want to get y'all an opportunity to.
I'll go ahead.
Big homie is everyone.
Big homie want to go. Okay, look. Oh, you next? Okay. CP _ the real Big Bun. Okay.
Go ahead, Big Bun. Let the people know where they can find you, baby.
You can find me at Big Bun 78 at Instagram, and you can find me at the Devon Solo Experience on YouTube.
YouTube, baby.
I missed your Sauna Chronicles.
Ain't no sign.
Ain't no sign no more, huh?
And just as you
with
have
the mask
on. Just as like you have to.
They were so funny.
They were.
It was.
Rico
ain't no more
with
silence.
Oh,
I seen somebody the day I started. I'm good.
I know you see some foolishness on that track.
Man, I seen some stuff today in the gym.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like,
should I do it? Should I do it?
I was like, damn, but I was out of win, so.
Oh, man.
All right.
That's what it is.
Queen, let them know where they can find you.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Artavia, and that's ART.A.BIA.
That's a lot.
Go ahead, Poke Fit. Let them know.
All right, man. Last but not least, man, you can find me at Poke Fit. If you want to be in the best shape in your whole entire life, I am having a boot camp in DeSoto and downtown Dallas and Trinity Grove area. The DeSoto location is called The Show. First session is free.
The Show.
Also, the Hill class in Trinity Grove, Trinity Overlook Park. First session is free also. So if you're inquiring about after the free session, we can talk afterwards.
Absolutely, man. And this is not just because I love you, but man, Mr. Poke Fit makes dreams a reality, man. Makes results a reality. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we all trying to get in the best. We all, you know what I mean? We all trying to get in the best shape of our lives, man. But man, y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy CP The Real. Y'all can hit me on Instagram, CP_ The Real. One word, same thing on Facebook, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, share with a friend, comment, man, to the YouTube channel. Talk to Me Nice, man. All the visuals to every episode will be loaded there, man. So whether you're driving in the car or you're watching us on your laptop, man, we got you both ways. But that's been our show today, man. We're going to continue to talk our shit because talking shit makes us feel good. You know what I mean? We hope you continue to talk yours. Talk to Me Nice. We out. Oh!